Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Michaela Underdahl, and I'm Nimble's community manager. This session will last for about 30 minutes and will cover the basics of Nimble. I'll be sharing my screen the entire time, and we'll discuss what Nimble is, what business problems it can help you solve, and how to set it up by connecting your emails, your calendars, and how to properly import and organize your contacts. I will also pay attention to some of the basic features you should be doing on regular basis to make sure that things are not falling through the cracks and you know exactly what needs to be done. And of course, how to set up Nimble so it helps you to get it done. And at the end of the session, we will also have a Q&A. And I have my awesome colleague Megan in the background, and she's gathering all the questions. So please just send them in the chat anytime they come to mind. So what is Nimble? Nimble is a simple CRM that works in both Office 365 and G Suite and anywhere else you work. It automatically combines your contacts, communication histories, email inboxes, and calendar appointments. It also integrates with social media and currently over 160 software as a service applications. So we'll definitely cover what we mean by that during today's session when we review the settings page in Nimble. And what are some of the business problems that Nimble can help you solve? It's definitely contact management, organization, unification of contacts. It's relationship management and nurturing. So once you bring everybody in, we have features that can help you to mark contacts as important, set up reminders, and just make sure that all the important people in your business are being nurtured and followed up on. It also saves you time on data entry by automatically building and updating contact records for you, which we'll also cover during today's session. Nimble helps to remind you who to follow up with and when. And it also creates accessible and unified relationship manager for the entire team. We have a smart segmentation feature that allows you to create targeted groups and then outreach them at scale using our group message. So I'm just going to go into Nimble right now. And this is, every time you log into Nimble, this is where you land. This is our today page. But if you're just getting started and by reviewing the results of the survey, it looks like there's a lot of people that are still getting started with Nimble. So unfortunately, when you first log in, this page will not make too much sense for you. So this is why I wanted to discuss connecting everything first. So when you first log in, or even if you haven't been in Nimble for a while, please go into networks and imports and make sure that there are no errors and that you've connected everything you need. What to start with? I would definitely recommend either reviewing that you have connected all your emails or connecting them, and it's very easy. So you can just click on the email provider that you have, and it doesn't matter if you're using more. So at Nimble, we are actually using both Outlook and Gmail. I also have my personal Gmail, so you can connect both. I'm going to start with Gmail. So I can just select the one that I want to connect. And for the training purposes, I'll just connect my my personal one. So every time you connect your email to Nimble, Nimble will ask you to import contacts. So you might or might not be using Google Contacts. If you are, I would definitely suggest putting a tag on them and naming it something like Michaela Google Contacts. And you can either skip it if you don't use it, or you can just click import. Just like that, your Gmail is imported. If you want to connect any additional ones, you can just click here. So now I'm going to connect my Office 365 one. Hope I remember the password correctly. Okay, good, I do. So before you can connect your Office 365 Outlook, Nimble will ask you to map your inboxes, and we actually do most of the work for you, so you can just review if it's accurate. So in this case, it looks good, so I just hit save. And just like that, I have been able to connect my Gmail and my Outlook. If you have more, you can just continue connected them. You can connect any IMAP account into Nimble, and Megan will actually share a link in the chat box, so you can find out a little more about how to connect IMAP accounts into Nimble. So after you've connected your emails, I would and actually let me back up. I forgot one thing. So once you connect your Gmail, and if you want to start using our group message feature, which Nimble offers, and we offer you to send up to 300 messages per day per user that are sent individually. So they are being sent via Nimble, but actually through your email provider. So that means you can send templated and personalized messages up to 300 people a day, and nobody will know that they are part of a group outreach. So it's a really, really great feature. And with Gmail, all you have to do is connect your Gmail like we just did. But with Office 365, you'll have to use this button and connect your Office 365 account again, and it should just remember everything. And this also allows you to import your Outlook contacts. So in the same way we did, we imported Google Contacts, you can import your Office 365 Outlook. Just gonna skip it for now. So we got all the emails connected, and now it's time to connect calendars, because what Nimble does is that first, it allows you to bring contacts into one place from all these different places. Then once you connect your calendars, it will match the contacts with the communication, the history of communications that we can find in your email, and also with the calendar event. So then when you're reviewing a contact record in Nimble, which we will do in a second, you'll be able to see who the person is, all the information about them, what are the emails you have exchanged with them recently, and when was the last time you had meeting, because Nimble will be reading your calendar and attaching all the information to the contact record. So I'm just going to connect my Google Calendar here. Again, it's really easy. You just select the account you want to connect and finish. And same would go for your Office 365 calendar. Okay, finished. Social networks. Nimble integrates with social media accounts, but the best integration we have is with Twitter. So every time you exchange a tweet or direct message with somebody, everything will be recorded under contact record, under the individual contact record as well. So if you're an active Twitter user, I definitely recommend connecting it to Nimble. We also have we also allow you to bring in a Twitter list, which is, if you are a Twitter user, you are probably aware of this feature. You know that Twitter feed can get pretty noisy. So creating and using Twitter lists is a great way to kind of cut through the noise. So I personally use them a lot. So when importing Twitter contacts, I would not recommend importing everybody, because not everybody who follows you needs to be in your CRM database. So I would definitely recommend picking a Twitter list, and then you can add a tag to it and then import. I'm just going to skip for now and go on to connecting my Facebook. Super easy like this. Okay. You also get to connect your Facebook page. You can only connect once. So I'm just going to select the Nimble page right now. And you can also connect your Instagram and Foursquare if you use it. So right now we connected all our calendars and emails, social networks, and now it's time to bring in contacts from all the other places. Nimble allows you to bring contacts in via a CSV file. It's very easy. One of the places you might want to import your contacts from is LinkedIn. So my colleague Megan will send you a link in the chat box that you can. It's a link to our support article that guides you through how you can do all this, and it also includes a direct link to LinkedIn where you can download a CSV file of your LinkedIn connection. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is. I downloaded my archive before today's webinar because it takes LinkedIn, it can take even up to 30 minutes for them to send you your archive. So I did it prior to our webinar. So I'm just going to find it in my downloads. I believe it's here, connections. And we have this mapping, saved mappings in Nimble. So every time you'll be importing a CSV file of your contacts, Nimble will ask you if maybe these are some of the apps you're importing them from. And the reason why we ask is that we want to make it easy for you. So we're aware of, the format in which you download your CSV file from LinkedIn. So then you can just select LinkedIn, say next, and then just review if the columns and the fields make sense. So first name, last name, email. In email address in Nimble is called work email. Company will be parent company, position is title. Every time there's a field that we don't currently have in Nimble, we will either ask you to skip it, or you can also create a custom field, which we will cover in some of our next webinars. But it's an excellent feature because we have a lot of fields in Nimble, but it really depends on your use case. You might just want to create specific ones. So for now, I'm just going to click skip. And always, every time you run an import into Nimble, please create a tag. So I'm just going to name this LinkedIn Michaela, and I'll do July 2019 and finish. And Nimble is running the import in the background. Another way you can get contacts into Nimble is via third-party applications. And like I mentioned in the beginning, we currently integrate with over 160 software as a service applications, and we do that via a company called PySync. So in networks and imports under contacts, you can review all the integrations that we have. And after you select the one that you want to use to bring your contacts in to Nimble, you would be prompted to create a free trial with a company called PySync. I would highly recommend reviewing all the apps that we integrate with, because it's a really easy way how to bring your contacts into Nimble. The deal we currently have with PySync is that you can sign up for free. It's free for 14 days. And during the trial, you can actually bring all your contacts into Nimble for free. And after the 14 days, if you want to sync only, if you want to keep less than 2,000 contacts in sync, PySync will remain free for you. If you are okay with just keeping the contacts as they are, you don't need to have them in sync. You can just let it expire. But if you want to be keeping more than 2,000 contacts in sync, then there would be a fee associated with that, and you would find the information on PySync's website. They have a really great pricing page where you can put the amount of contacts you would be syncing, and they'll give you a price estimate. So these are all the ways how you can get Nimble set up, how you can bring all your contacts in, and how you can organize them. I mentioned that a great way to organize your contacts is using tags, and we also have the custom fields. So I would always make sure that every import has a tag on them, because then the tags will be shareable across your entire team. And everybody on the team will be easily able to just locate it and find them, and then later segment them for any outreaches you might do or any exports. So while we're still in settings, I would also want to tell you about one fun feature that we have, and that's called highlighted contacts. So Nimble has a feature called highlighted contacts that is a fun way to make sure that you are not forgetting about important people in your business. You can type all the keywords and titles that are important to you and your company, and then save it. And what Nimble will do in the background is that we will be matching these keywords and titles to the bios of the people you have imported into your Nimble database, and then we'll be resurfacing them for you and asking you, okay, is this contact important? We kind of think so, because this person matches all the keywords that you told us that are important for you. So then you'll be able to either be like, no, you're wrong, this person's not important to me, or you will be able to mark them as important, set up stay in touch reminders. So then you can set it up so Nimble reminds you to keep in touch with them monthly or annually, and every time the time is approaching, Nimble will send you a notification to make sure that you follow up with them. So that being said, I think we are ready to go and take a look today page. So now, after you've connected everything, this page will make so much more sense to you. So this page is completely customizable, and the idea behind is for you to, every time you log in the morning, we want you to know exactly what it is you have to get done that day. So when you click here on Manage Widgets, you will see all the widgets that that we currently offer, and you'll be able to hide those that don't make sense to you. And it really depends on your role in your company and your use case. So we have a lot of sales related widgets. So we have a deals widget in which you would see the status of all your deals, and we have a pipeline chart or staged funnel, so you'll be able to see exactly what's going on with your pipeline, how much money you have in your pipeline, what deals need to be followed up on, and all that. Nimble also offers email tracking for both individual messages and group messages. So in this widget, you would see the insights on the clicks and opens, which is a really useful one. Highlighting contacts. So this is the one where Nimble will be showing you all the contacts that we have found that match the keywords that you set up in settings. Onboarding checklist, that's just supposed to help you to get onboarded into Nimble. And this is where you would see all the stay in touch reminders that you have set up. Events, this is a great widget because you will see everything that's on all your calendars. So remember at the beginning of our session, we connected, I connected my Google Calendar and also my Office 365 calendar. So this widget will show you all the events that you have across all the calendars that you might be using, and you can also switch. So when maybe you're reviewing this, you're like, okay, I'm not in sales, so I don't want to see the stage funnel. So you would just click here and hide the widget. When you can also upload your logo and change the background. So this is like a fun feature we have. And when you're done, everything looks good. Oh, one thing that I forgot, you can also drag and drop. So if you want to see signals here, or it just depends what's more important for you. What are the things that you want to see on the first spot when you first log in. So once you're done, you just close settings, and this is what the final product looks like. So for me, tasks are very important. I use them to make sure that everything anybody on the team wants me to get done, I get done. So I create tasks for myself, and you can also delegate tasks in Nimble. So this is where all tasks that you created for yourself or anybody on your team delegated to you will show up. This is where you can sort through them. Signals. These will be signals from Twitter. people that are following you, people that are commenting on anything you shared, or talking at you, and you'll be able to add them to Nimble straight from here and also respond to them. Email tracking. This is an amazing feature that I review all the time. It's really useful because when you send somebody a proposal, if you get notified at the time they're actually reviewing it, you might want to give them a call, and then when you catch them at the time they're actually thinking about you and buying from you, it can seal the deal. So I love this widget. I use it all the time. Events here. So this is where your calendars will show up. You can also create new events here. Highlighted contacts. This is where all the contacts that we found for you and things that you might want to be interacting with will show up. Stage funnel. So these are the sales related feature I mentioned. And we also have a pipeline chart. So that's the today page. Now I would like to review what a contact record in Nimble looks like. So if you have been with Nimble for a while, you might still be seeing the old view. So if that is the case, please look in the top right corner here and make sure that you switch to the new contact record. Or if you don't like it, you could also revert back to the old one. But I think this one is just so much easier to use and nicer to look at. So this is the contact record in Nimble. Of course, you'll see all the basic stuff, but the name of the person, their title, all their social networks, where they're from, what their email is, what their phone number is. All the tags that you have imported and used will be here. You also get to edit them and add more. Most importantly, remember when I was talking about the importance of connecting all your emails and calendars into Nimble. This is where you see what it actually means. So under interactions, under all, you will be able to see everything that you or your team has done with the contact. So you'll see all the past activities, all past meetings, all Twitter interactions you've had with this person, all emails that you have exchanged. And if this is the person that you've had a relationship for a while, you see that it's a lot. So in that case, I would recommend using these fields and just sort through them. So if I'm looking for a specific message that I've exchanged with John, I would just go under messages and it would make it a little easier to find it. Here you would see all the notes, and under activities, you would see all the activities, and you can further scroll here. Tasks will be the to-dos, calls will be calls, events, any calendar events, or if there are any pending deals with the person, you would be able to review them here. So we cover the basics and all the imports, how you can get your contact calendars and communications in sync. And I also promise that we will touch on some of the basic features that you should be using on daily basis to not only get in habit to use Nimble, but most importantly, to make sure that things are not falling through the cracks. So a great basic feature is our notes. So notes, I personally use every time I'm on a phone call with somebody, I open notes on the person's contact record, and I just make sure that I type everything that we're talking about in here instead of on a piece of paper, because we all know that they are so easy to lose. And then in few days after you have spoken, with 30 more people, you can really remember everything you discussed. So even if you don't have time to take action on whatever you talked about right then, you can create the note, save it, and then once you have time to get these things done, you can, open the note and then even create a to-do from the note. So, okay, so we need to ship these boxes to Inspire. So I will need a help of my colleague because I'm not at the Santa Monica office right now. So I would actually schedule a task for her. So I could use a description here. I would set up a due date, so it's a specific due date, and now It's due tomorrow. You could even do specific time, and you can either assign it to yourself or anybody on the team. So I'm actually using my personal test account, so I haven't added anybody yet, but if I wanted to add my colleague, I would just select her from the list here. And just like that, I would save it, and she would get a notification that I want her to do something. Once she completes it, I'll get a notification then she completed it, and also it will show up under the history of interaction. So I'll always know, okay, this is what we did. So the contact record will show you the entire, it will give you a view into the entire relationship. So when I was describing what Nimble is and the benefits of Nimble, I was talking about how you can use Nimble everywhere you work. But what does it mean? So we have add-ins that you can use. We have a browser extension that you can use on all main browsers. And Megan, please, if you don't mind, send everybody the link to nimble.com/widget where they can download the extension they need. So I personally use Chrome. But we also have it for Firefox, Safari, on Microsoft Edge. We also have plugins to Outlook, Outlook Desktop, and your web app Outlook. So you will find links on that page, and you can just use it to set it up everywhere. Once you, in case you're using G Suite or Gmail, once you download the extension on your browser, it will automatically plug into your Gmail. So there's nothing else you have to do. For Outlook, you would have to download the add-in, and we will send you. We'll drop links in our chat box that will guide you through the setup, and we'll have all the links there. So the main benefit of the extension is that it allows you to use Nimble outside of Nimble. So it literally works everywhere. So here I am in Twitter, and let's say I'm reviewing my notifications, and I don't know who, let's just find somebody. So who Brooke is. So I could just hover over her name, and just like that, Nimble will create what we call a live record in case I don't have Brooke in my Nimble database yet. And this is all the information we have been able to gather about her without me doing any data entry. So if I decide that, yes, Brooke is somebody I definitely want to have in my Nimble account, I could just click Add to Nimble, and it's easy like this. You can just either click Save, or I could add a tag. So then later when I'm looking in Nimble, I know how she got there and why she's there. So I could put an influencer tag on her and just save. What you see here, this is a feature we call Nimble Prospector, and it's a contact discovery tool. So as long as you know the first name, last name, and the company the person works for, and I believe it's B Squared Media in her case, Nimble will be able to find the person's contact record, email. Well, not only email, in many cases we'll be able to find even phone numbers, so contact information. It's being a little slow. Let's see. Doesn't it always happen on a live demo? Okay, well, we'll try with somebody else. So like I mentioned, so this extension will help you create new records, or it will also help you update existing records. So I already have John in my database, so it doesn't say live record, it pops up with the current information I already have for him. So let's say I saw on LinkedIn or Twitter that he got promoted or he changed the company he works for. I would be able to easily just edit the contact record from here. I can also look for his contact info. Let's see if, well, now it filled out with my info. Okay, so let's see now. Okay. Okay, so here it is. So it found John's email, it found his title, even his phone number, location, and it even found his Twitter and LinkedIn. So then you could just hit save and everything would be updated in that contact record. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It works the same in LinkedIn, but I also want to show you what it looks like in Outlook. So I'm in my Office 365 Outlook here, and after you download the add-in, this is what it will look like. It will always be on the right side with you, showing you existing records, or it will also help you create new contact records. So on desktop Outlook, it looks very similar. It will again always be on your right side here, and I also wanted to show you what it looks like inside of Gmail. So this is what it looks like, and this is what it looks like when you don't have the person in Nimble yet. You can just quickly add them in there, and you have a new contact record just like that. So that being said, I think I've gone over all the things that we have we set up for today to cover. I also wanted to make sure that I let you know that we are planning to continue to do these training webinars. The next one will be on Wednesday, July 31st, and we will cover segmenting your database and sending targeted group messages. On August 14, we will cover getting things done in Nimble, and we'll go over all the activities. On August 28th, we'll cover tracking your deals and reports, and we'll cover how to create multiple pipelines in Nimble, and we'll go into all the details about deals. On September 11, we'll cover how to prospect better, smarter with Nimble, and I'll show you all the ways you can use Nimble for prospecting, and we'll focus on using the browser extensions in social media, on websites, and I'll show you how easy it is to bring contacts into Nimble. And on September 25th, we'll be focusing on using Nimble as a team. So that's it, and I would like to spend a few minutes now on answering your questions. So Megan, please let me know if there are any questions that people have. So Martin's asking, does Nimble work with SMTP and POP email servers? Unfortunately, Nimble will only work with IMAPs. Jake is asking, is there any limit to the number of contact groups? How many groups can one contact belong to? So Jake, if you're referring to tags, there's no limit. So you can create as many tags as you want for contact records. But if you find out that there's a lot of tags you might want to create in Nimble, I would definitely look into using custom fields, because that would make it a little less cluttered. Because if you have 5 tags on each contact record, that's fine. But when we're talking about 100, 150, then creating custom fields might make more sense for you and your team, and just keep it a little less cluttered. Okay, so Jason is asking if we can cover using the mobile app for beginners. So I will actually focus on that in one of our next webinars, but I would like to let you know that we have mobile apps for both Android and iPhone. So please, if you haven't, just download them, check them out. You can do all the basic stuff you can do in Nimble. So you can create contact records, you can update them, you can send templated and track messages from there. And one feature that I personally absolutely love is our business card scanner. So you can just bring up the business card scanner, take a picture of a business card, and Nimble will create a contact record for you. So then you can just hand the business card back to the person, or just keep it. But this way you'll make sure that the important contact info is already in your CRM database. And straight from there, if you're at a conference or running around, you can just create a tag, you can create a to-do or add a note. So that's really useful. So Dan's asking if I wanted to add more LinkedIn context after the first download. So if you remember, when I created a tag, I put a month there. So because it's not in sync, because it's a CSV import, I would recommend you updating it periodically. So maybe it really depends on how many people you connect with. If you're the kind of person that connects with a bunch of people every month, it might make more sense to run the CSV import maybe once a month, twice a month. But if you're really selective about who you're connecting with, I would actually use the browser extension like I was showing on Twitter. It looks the same on LinkedIn. And I would like to note here that if you're hovering over somebody's name, and it happens especially in LinkedIn, and nothing's popping up, try highlighting it. It should solve it. So this is another way how you can keep your LinkedIn contacts in sync with Nimble by using the extension. Just when you accept LinkedIn invitation, you can use the extension to bring them into Nimble right away, and then you can apply the same tag that you already use for your LinkedIn contacts. Oh, how did I get to the page, how to design your today page? When you first log into Nimble, that's where you will land. So it's called Today page. So on the main bar, you would just click on Today, and that's how you get there. And Megan, if you can find a support article about Today page, please drop it in the chat so people can learn a little more about Today page. So does Nimble connect with other CRMs such as SalesRabbit? So I'm not personally familiar with SalesRabbit, but please review all the apps that we integrate with in the networks and imports and see if SalesRabbit is there. But yes, we do integrate with a lot of CRMs. How do I assign accounts to certain sales reps? So the first thing to do would be to add the sales reps as additional users to your Nimble account. So Megan, if you can find an article about how to use Nimble for teams or how to add additional team members to your team, please share it in the comments. And then you would just create a deal and you would select the appropriate sales reps that you want to be the owner of it. How do you delete duplicates in bulk? So unfortunately, we don't really have a built-in feature on looking up and deleting duplicates in bulk, but we do have a feature in Nimble that you can use to merge duplicates on a one-on-one basis. So on individual contact record, you would be able to use the merge feature, click on it, and then we would find all the duplicates for the specific person. And if you'd like to learn more about how to dedupe your database, please write us at care@nimble.com, and our care team will make sure to send you all the information they have, because they've interacted with a lot of people that needed to dedupe their database. How to distinguish between group shared items versus personal not shared items. So if you're referring to tasks, to-dos, then you would be able to just toggle between those that were delegated to you or those that you created for yourself. And if you're looking for more information about that, or if I haven't answered your question, please write us at care@nimble.com, and we'll make sure that we'll send you support articles or explain you in more detail how to do it. Can Nimble create a search feature for all activities, notes, and messages? This will enable us to find things more quickly for highly populated contacts. Yes, so you can actually segment your database. You can use all the fields in Nimble to search on. I imported my existing customers into Nimble. How do I apply tag to all of them? I'd like them tagged as existing customer or something like that. So when you go on contacts page, that will be Second tab, when you log into Nimble, on the left side, you will see a list, and one of the things in the list will say all contacts. So you'll be able to select all the contacts and then apply the tag there. And again, if you need more help, please write us at care@nimble.com and we'll guide you through it. If I disconnect pricing, will I lose my contacts? And do my contacts automatically sync from Outlook? So if you disconnect Outlook pricing, you will not lose the contacts. The contacts will stay in your Nimble account. But if you don't, if you have less than 2,000 contacts per month, they will be in sync with your Outlook. But if you have more, then you would have to start paying for the service. And if you decide not to pay for the service, then they will not be in sync, but you will not lose anything that you have already brought into Nimble on the initial import. If I connect my Gmail account, will it create duplicate contacts? So we merge contacts based on email address. So if you import your Gmail contacts and you already have emails associated with the same people in your database, we will merge them so they will not create duplicates. But there might be some duplicates if there are not email addresses associated with them, because especially for common names, we don't want to mess up records. So that's why we use this unique identifier. And I think that's it for the questions. And I see that we're even a lot over time, so maybe I'll be scheduling these for 45 minutes and not for 30 minutes. Okay, so one more question here. Why doesn't Nimble have a trash that can be emptied like all other email programs? Until I can unlink email accounts previous linked, I have to delete one at a time that don't need to be in there, but they are still saved forever and it's taking my space. Can I edit them completely? So if you're talking about emails, I believe that if you delete them either in your Gmail or Outlook, they will also be deleted in Nimble. But Chris, you know what? I'm going to get in touch with the head of our customer support, and I'll double check with her, and I'll get in touch with you personally to make sure that I'm giving you the right information. So that's all for the questions. So I would like to thank you all so much for joining today's Nimble Basics webinar. Each of the next ones will focus on one feature specifically, and we'll cover all of them in more detail. Like I mentioned, the next one will be on Wednesday, July 31st, and as a follow-up email, as one of the items in the follow-up email that everybody will receive today, together with the recording of today's session, you will also receive a link to sign up for the next webinar. And for all the people that said that didn't have email accounts, if this was helpful, if you feel like Nimble is something that might help you, something that you would want to use, we're running a special offer. If you sign up by midnight today, Pacific time, we'll get you 30 days on your trial, so you have a lot of time to properly test it out. And on the trial, you have absolute access to all our features. So that being said, thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining me, and have a great rest of your day. And I would like to mention that, okay, if you end up taking us on the offer, please write us at care@nimble.com so we can make sure to apply it. So if you sign up by midnight today, Pacific time, and let us know at care@nimble.com, we'll make sure to apply the 30-day trial to you and all that. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.